What's up, everybody? Welcome to the American Horror Story Roanoke Chapter 10 episode recap review for the season finale. So, this one, heads up, spoilers. So, this one starts off with a panel from My Roanoke Nightmare before they even did the Return to Hell. And there's everybody up there and they're asking questions. And this lady asks Roy for a hug. He runs out and says, "Bet your sweet ass," and hugs her. And they go on, and then a British lady comes up and says like, "Oh, I was going through a hard year, but because Roanoke Nightmare, I got through it, and I feel bad that Lee's been painted in such a bad light." And she made her a drawing of her and Flora and gave it to her and hugged her. And then it cuts to her on YouTube doing exactly what I'm doing, talking bad about Return to Hell, and because all those people died, and they're all dead. And then it cuts to there's a lot of like parody shows in this episode. It's more funny than scary or suspenseful. Um, they do Cracked, which is snapped, so it goes to Cracked, and basically Lee's not in jail for life for murdering like so many, like what, 6 people I think, with the Return to Hell and Mason. Um, she gets off on a technicality from the Polk's marijuana is super pot, which I have to roll my eyes at because that's another time. But yeah, so the Polk pot was supposed to give like it had hallucinogens and all kinds of crazy stuff in super pot. So that's how she got off, and they kept showing the scenes of her getting eaten, her ear pickled, um, her confessing to murder, doing meth. Um, so she gets off on that, and then on that technicality, and then the detectives like the only way I could get her again was for her original crime, the murder of Mason, since they have evidence of her confessing. So how she got off on that was another technicality. They play the tapes, and then they have Flora go up, and she talks about seeing Lee murder Daddy with a rock and hitting him with a rock till he stopped moving. So she was in the woods and saw her mom murder her dad. And then how she got off on that was the prosecutor said, or the defender said, "You're alone in the woods?" She's like, "I was with Priscilla." Kids telling ghost stories from a broken home. Mom's an addict. Jury doesn't convict Lee again. And this got kind of sad because Flora's leaving to go live with her grandparents from Mason's side, who have custody of her, and Lee keeps saying she wants to talk to her, and she just keeps walking. Kind of sad. Then she goes on the Lana Winter show. Shout out to you, Asylum, the murderer slash mother of Bloody Face. So they're talking, and basically Lee just says it's always been about Flora. That's her rock to be a good mother to Flora. And then the Polk boy comes in. Oh, because he was in the beginning on YouTube showing off assault rifles, telling he's going to get justice on Lee. So he shows up on the Lana Winter show and shoots some dude coming in and knocks Lana in the face and then gets murdered. So it's like, how many bullets can Lee dodge, dude? Jesus. Then it cuts to Ghost Chasers. Or Spirit Chasers, which is a ghost hunting show. And they got turned down to go into the Roanoke house. But it don't matter because we got hedge clippers. Or not hedge clippers, wire cutters. So they break in with Ashley, who played the spiritual dude, and they ask him like, "How come you weren't on the return?" And he's like, "Oh, cause what's his face didn't invite me." So yeah, they go in and basically they all get murdered. Um, Chen's got him. Uh, the pigman got him. The butcher got him. People shooting arrows got him. But they bump into Lee in there, and she's like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And they're like, "Whoa!" They're so shocked, and like, we'll help you find your daughter because she's with Priscilla. So they kind of help her, and then they all get murdered. And then it ends kind of with the police standoff and Lee having a nice moment with Flora. They're sitting there, and Flora's drawing on the dirt in the house, and Lee explains to her, like, so you know when you picture a house in your head and or like a perfect cat, you try to draw it, but you can't get it to come out right because your fingers don't work. That's what parenting is. So she had the perfect picture of her and Flora in her head with Mason, and didn't come out right. Um, then Flora says she wants to stay here because she was happier here with Priscilla than she ever was with her mom, and she's gonna stay and protect Priscilla and burn the house down, or Priscilla's gonna help her burn the house down and to protect her from the butcher if she's like her. So then Lee tells her, "What about?" Like she tries to tell her, like, "No, you have to leave with me. I'm your mother. A girl needs her mother," and then she ends up pardoning or making a deal with Flora that, well, what if I stay here and protect Priscilla from the butcher? I got away from the butcher twice. And then she's like, she'll get you eventually. And then she says, but what if I was like her? So basically, Lee's like, what if I die and protect Priscilla and be a mother to Priscilla so you could go live your life? Got kind of sad at the end. So then she asks Priscilla, like, what do you think? She agrees, so they burn the house down with Lee inside of it. And Flora leaves with the police and looks back. And then there's the butcher and all her people, the settlers, coming with the torches again. And that's how it ends. Weird. Really weird season. I kind of think maybe it's time to call it an end soon on the next one. I don't know. I'm going to watch the next one, though. So when that comes out, I'll be here for you. Peace.